Hello everybody, I'm Red Bearded Anubis and welcome back to RBA Airsoft. Today we're talking about the KWC Elite Force 1911A1 TAC. Let's get into it. Alright, today we're going to be covering the KWC 1911 TAC. This is the A1 model that has the rail. It is a CO2 powered airsoft pistol modeled after the classic M1911A1. We will be reviewing its construction, the features, the operating system, its performance characteristics, as well as I will be discussing its performance on the field, which I will have included footage from recent gameplay. Sorry, bro. Alright, so the Elite Force 1911A1 TAC is manufactured by KWC and distributed by Elite Force. It is designed as a full-size airsoft replica intended for skirmish use, recreational shooting. It operates using the CO2 powered blowback system and fires 6mm BBs for those that didn't know. Inside the box you're going to get the airsoft pistol, you're going to get one CO2 magazine, which is this, the instruction manual, as well as the included magazine Allen key. This is important because this allows you to tighten down your CO2 joules inside the magazine with this screw here. This replica is based on the classic M1911A1 handgun design. It's a platform originally adopted in the early 20th century 1911 by the US military. The airsoft version that you see here retains the general profile, grip, angle, as well as the control layout associated with the 1911A1. The construction of this replica is very good, especially for CO2. It has a metal slide, a metal frame, textured polymer grips, as well as a matte black finish that is questionable at best. As you guys can see, I'll put it up there. We have a couple scratches on the frame of the pistol, and that is from skirmish use. I do like to use this pistol. This is a nice pistol. It is good for CQB. It has a fixed outer barrel design, and that is typical of normal CO2 1911 pistols. It also has a threaded 14mm barrel, which is good if you want to put a tracer on this. And honestly, the weight and dimensions are very consistent with a 1911 replica, which is really nice. It feels good in the hand. It holds and points well. The sights are accurate. It's not bad on that case. Alright, with the controls and their position, they are the standard 1911A1. This is a single action only pistol, which those that don't know what that means is when I pull the trigger with the hammer down, this gun will not fire. No matter if I press the backstrap safety here, the grip safety as it's called, it will not fire. Also, the ambidextrous safety will not engage either. This is based on a traditional 1911 and it operates as such, meaning single action only. Hammer has to be cocked. If the backstrap is not pressed, you can't pull the trigger. If the safety is up, you cannot pull the trigger. This is where cocked and locked comes from mostly. Cocked and locked as is the pistol is cocked, ready to shoot. The safety is locked in place and you're unable to shoot until you drop that safety and can pull the trigger. And when the gun cycles, it'll be ready for that next shot with a very small reset. Very small reset. And it's good to go. The Picatinny rail on the bottom fits most lights lasers that I've seen. I use the Streamlight TRL1 high lumen on mine. It's fantastic. It fits perfectly into the Blackhawk Omnivore holster with the light attached, which is why I have that holster. It fits everything with a rail as long as you have a light on it. We'll probably cover that holster in another video. Honestly, it's a great all-in-one holster as long as you buy the light and your gun has a rail. The magazine, let's talk about the magazine, because in my opinion, this is one of the low points of this replica and a lot of other 1911 replicas. We're going to go ahead and put this to the side for a second. It is powered by a CO2 12 gram jewel or cartridge. This is really good because it performs well in colder weather conditions. It has that consistency of CO2 that you like. The problem is because it is a single stacked magazine, just like the real one holds 7 + 1, so meaning 1 in the chamber, 7 rounds in the magazine. The Airsoft one is double that, which is 14 rounds, which is honestly pretty low considering most Airsoft pistol capacity. The magazine is durable metal. I am confident with dropping these magazines if I need to. If I need to have a quick magazine change, I'm okay with hitting the magazine release and getting rid of it. No problem there on that. This one also with the CO2 jewel is actually a lot easier than the QG Works M9 that we talked about, as in you just need to bring it out about that far, put your jewel in, tighten it down until you hear it hiss, keep tightening until you stop hear it hissing, and then you're good to go. You're locked in and good to go. The spring in this magazine is very, very stiff. And honestly, they don't give you a very good tab to pull the magazine down to load BBs in with a speed loader. They do have a loading chamber, which is down here in the middle of the magazine. It's a bigger hole. So you can use any type of speed loader that works. But getting it down there and holding it will definitely ruin your fingernails. I mean, even trying to do it now to show you guys, it sucks. It is very easy also to pull this spring up and out when it gets down to the bigger chamber. So this is one of the weak points in my opinion. This really doesn't even work well with the Autobot. It's very stiff, very hard to load. But what that means though is that when it is feeding into the replica and it's shooting with the combination of CO2, it is reliable. You won't have a problem with the slide locking back and then there's a BB still in your magazine. You're like, why didn't it fire? It just locked back. Unless you ride that slide lock release lever here, you're gonna have no issues. It's gonna keep going. It performs well. The follow-up shots are quick. Trigger pull is nothing. It's a quick reset. It's fantastic in that aspect. So pros and cons. Magazine, yes, they do kind of suck, but it is a reliable system, and that's why this has been copied so many times through the different manufacturers with these types of magazines. So chrono, it's stated between 330 and 350 feet per second with 20 gram BBs, which is consistent for indoor field play. I'll make sure I include the chrono footage here to confirm what my findings were. It is consistent to a degree. You might have some weird one-offs where you get a low drop. If I remember correctly, I had a couple of those where I had low drop-offs. But mostly it is consistent within 10 to 15 feet per second, which honestly for a sidearm, that's not bad at all. The hop-up is adjustable. However, the problem with this is that you have to disassemble the pistol to do it. So first thing you want to do is take out your magazine, check to make sure the replica is empty, and you want to bring it back. So there's 2 notches in the slide. If you guys can see that, I'll probably have a close-up here so you guys can see it better. But you want to go to the first one, not the slide lock one, but the one before, and then push out your slide lock lever, which can be stiff. Now you have to sometimes use a tool, but luckily enough they do give us the Allen key, so we're going to use that Allen key, and you'll feel the spring give. And then we can walk that pin out, which this is the slide lock pin. So we're going to put that down. Comes off the front of the gun. You have the lower frame here, as well as your spring and bushing. Now with the spring and bushing, basically what you want to do, because you're under spring pressure with any 1911, you want to be careful of this so you don't hit yourself in the face with the spring, is push down on the spring, take out the spring and guide and your plunger here. Once that is taken out, there it is. You can take off the barrel bushing. Now, you don't technically need to take down the barrel bushing to access the hop, but it is nice if you want to take it apart and do a full clean of this. With it being CO2, it is going to get dry because it doesn't have any silicone oil, and as you guys can see probably from my fingers, it's already pretty dirty because of that, and I've just used this in a match recently. So the hop-up wheel, now this, if you want to take the barrel out, you do have to take off the barrel bushing. We'll take it off just so you guys can see it. Might as well not. Barrel spring, and then your barrel will pull forward and out the back of the replica as soon as I can get it to do so. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, gotta line it up properly. That would help. So it comes out the front. This does have the 14mm threads, which is nice. This is the hop-up wheel. So the hop-up wheel, you would have to take the slide off to access the hop-up wheel, which is kind of annoying, but again, like other pistols, I've noticed I've set this hop-up once to hop 30-gram BBs, which is what I use on the field with this, and it has stayed. I haven't had any issues. I haven't had any drop-off, weird consistencies, weird flights, no crazy too much hop over direct like that, so it has stayed put. Reassembly of the pistol. Slide the barrel back in. You're going to want to put your barrel spring back on the replica like so. Put your barrel bushing in. Your cap here, which is going to go with this portion facing down towards your barrel. And then we're going to slide the mainspring in. And this is based on an older design, so this is why this one is a little weird. I mean, this pistol came out over 100 years ago. But at this point, without taking apart the barrel assembly, unless you want to clean it for obvious reasons, you can access the hop-up right here. And it is a little wheel that's in there that you just click left or right, add more hop, less hop, that type deal. Reassembly. Reassembly is actually not bad and pretty easy as well. Just slide back to that same point that it was at before when you disassembled. Slide the slide stop back in there. Make sure it's all the way through, protruding on the other end. Function check. And we're good to go. We're back in operation. So that's pretty much the hop-up assessment on that. That sucks. Magazine's kind of eh. But we'll continue because we got more to cover. So we're going to move right into what's this intended for? Well, if you don't care about a trademarked 1911 that has solid performance, this is actually not a bad option for you, especially if you like to put tracers or anything else on your sidearm. This is a good platform for that because it already has the threaded barrel, which is one of the reasons why I like it. It's already set up like that. It is CO2 powered. The hop-up is adjustable, but you have to pretty much disassemble the slide from the frame to get to it, which kind of sucks, but it's a pistol, so understandable. It does have a metal frame construction like a real 1911. It has functional controls like the slide stop that is easily accessible with your thumb to knock it down. That's what I usually do because it's not extended. So when it slide locks back, magazine out, new magazine in, get my grip, hit it with my support hand thumb, and then reacquire my grip. And then I use the safety catch as kind of a what's called known as a gas pedal type deal, where I can really push into it and get a nice solid tight grip. So that's good as well. It does have blowback action if you care about that. It does have the nice accessory rail, which is nice to have, which is the reason I bought this one and not a traditional 1911 or a GI pattern. It is compatible with standard 12 gram CO2 capsules, which is nice, so you don't have to look for anything specific on that. The cons of this, honestly, the lower magazine capacity, the 14 rounds, kind of sucks. Just loading them is a complete pain. It's still a single stack magazine. It's not great. They are thin. They do wobble in a lot of different pouches that are made for like modern double stacks. What I found is taco pouches work well. Also, there are the ones that I use by Vixim that I got off of Amazon for Molly, my Molly belt and my Molly vest. Those work great. I even use those for SMG mags. We'll do a video on that down the road as well. They are fantastic. These fit and lock in place, which is great. Some people may not like the full weight of this thing, which is understandable. I mean, it is airsoft. It's not real life. Some people like the real weight and feel. Others don't care. They just want a quick wieldy pistol. That's fair. There are ABS plastic, green gas versions of this out there that are available if you want to go with that. Seals do wear over time like any green gas gun, so you have to be careful of those and watch those. Make sure you hear no hissing or leaking. And I did mention it before, but I will bring it on again. The hop-up adjustment is kind of annoying. Disassembly, you need to really know what you're doing with this pistol to actually access it. But in conclusion, honestly, the KWC Elite Force 1911 A1 TAC is not a bad pistol if you like the 1911 look, if you like the profile, if you like that quick single action trigger, easy to use controls, decent sights. This can make long shots. People say that, oh, that pistol sucks. Oh, that pistol sucks. I haven't seen that. And like I said, there'll be some footage that you've already seen or probably are seeing that will show that you can make hits. You just need to know how to aim. And that's another thing this is good for. Maybe you're a recreational shooter who doesn't have time to go out to the range all the time. This is not a bad option if you want to have a training pistol for something like your 1911. Maybe not the recoil of 45, but it will have blowback, it will recycle, and it works on your dry fire skills with that trigger, so you're not slapping the trigger. Nice, quick trigger pulls. Reset, pull. Reset, pull. I mean, that's what it is. Sight alignment, trigger control, that's how you make shots at long distance. Yeah, you can spam the trigger, but good for maybe close. But for me, sight alignment, trigger control always trumps everything else. And that's one of the main reasons why I like and use Airsoft, is because of the real application to real steel with dry fire practice, but your slide resets. So maybe that's a thought for you if you want to get into that. It's here and available. I hope you guys did enjoy it. We will be continuing our reviews on different replicas on this channel. If you did like this video, please leave a like. If you think a friend would enjoy this, share it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.